Today we're going to talk about 4 things that are blocking you from attracting a good man into your life. Number 1 is oversharing. If you're the type of girly who believes that oversharing with the dates that you go on is a way for them to make sure that they like you for who you really are, then you're sorely mistaken. Because when you overshare, you're actually letting people know that you are someone who's willing to spill all of your secrets with everyone and that you're more stuck in the past than you are focused on your future. This is exactly why if you're someone who's looking to find a healthy partner, and if you're wondering why you always end up attracting narcissists and toxic people that manipulate you, oversharing might actually be the number 1 thing that is keeping you from attracting a healthy person, but also that keeps you attracting bad people. Because when you expect people to handle your emotions like you're supposed to handle your emotions, like you're supposed to take care of yourself, you're essentially telling everyone that you're around that you're giving the decisions of what's to happen in your life over to people that you have never met before. And this is exactly what makes healthy men stay far away from women that overshare. Because women that overshare about the fact that they've been through so much trauma, so many bad things, they had a narcissistic ex and all of this and all of that, and they're broke and blah, blah, blah. A healthy partner would not want a woman who overshares, because that means that if anything that they're supposed to solve in the relationship with each other, that is going to be on blast with the first person she meets. Not even like just sharing it with a close family member. No, if she feels comfortable sharing her trauma, her bad experiences with a stranger, then she's going to be sharing everything about their relationship with everyone too. And she also expects other people to heal her. And at the same time, she's also more easily manipulated. So even if he's healthy and he has no intention of manipulating you, other people can make you manipulated into doing other things. Which means that it's going to be hard to be in a relationship with you because you're easily manipulated. And that means that you're not going to be a good partner. Your emotions and your traumas and whatever you've been through, that's for you to solve. And if you think that you should be sharing traumas and bad stories with each other on dates, and if you don't know what else to talk about when you're on dates, then you need to go out and get yourself a hobby or a life or whatever. Because if you can only talk about all of the bad things you've gone through in your life, then you're not going to create a better life for yourself. You're literally telling people, these are the experiences that I'm comfortable with, and those are the experiences people are going to give you, aka the toxic and narcissistic and bad men. And then you're going to do the cycle over and over again, because next time you go on a date, you're going to share that, oh, you only attract narcissistic men. Yeah, exactly. Number 2, you are not obsessed with yourself enough. I'm not telling you that you need to go out and be like, everybody needs to love me right now, and I'm self-obsessed. No, you're not obsessed enough with creating for yourself. You're not obsessed enough with going out there and making sure that you have something going on for yourself. If you want to attract a healthy partner and a partner that wants to make sure that you're taken care of and that they vouch for you, your dreams, everything, you also need to be someone who is in the works of making sure that you make your dreams happen. You can't just sit around and wait for some Prince Charming to tell you, now is the good time to start. You have to have something going for yourself. And this will also take your mind off of dating, because if the only thing you got going on in your life is going on dates, making yourself, look good, and, just if you think dating is a hobby, then you will get played, because then you're just making it known to everyone, especially the men, that your time is literally up for grabs. And that's going to make men see you as less valuable. Yes, men actually do judge us by whether they think we're too easily available or not. If you literally say yes to everything, that also means that your energy is just up for grabs. Like, oh my God, yeah, let's go get fries at some burger place. Let's go for a drive. Let's go for a walk. You can do all of those things by yourself, and they don't cost more than like $5. When you're not obsessed with yourself enough, your time is not as valuable, which means that you are more likely to give it to people just because. You might actually think that it's a good idea for you to just be out on dates with people, and you're really showing the men that the women are in charge now, because now you're just going out with men for dinners and this and this and that. But your energy is valuable. It's not just some little fun game that you're playing on the men, that you're going out on dates here and there with them. That's literally you saying, I have nothing better going on. I don't have anything else to spend my time on. So what I'm going to spend my time on is on going on dates with someone like you. People can literally smell your energetic body odor, which means that if you're someone who got nothing else going on, if you're not obsessed enough with your own life to be like, I don't have time for that, then you will end up selecting people because you want to have more time in your life filled with stuff. Instead of you getting so busy with your own life and making sure that you have your business going on, maybe you have a social media channel, whatever it is. Especially if you're an IG baddie, if you're like a girl who posts a lot of selfies on internet or whatever. If you're an IG baddie and you are also someone who's willing to just go out and go for fries or go for a drive or go for a walk, then the men that are asking you to go on those types of dates, they're literally seeing that that's how you value yourself, yet you're someone who posts all these selfies about you looking good and you being a queen. Essentially, you're just taking the energy that you can put into making yourself such a good version of yourself, accommodating yourself, making sure that you become a better version of yourself, all of that, and you're putting it in to men. Which means that you're never going to see any of the good men because you'll never be able to rise. You'll be stuck down here. The good men that you want to have in your life, they're up here, but you can't get up here if you don't take that energy that you're spending on going out and dating and you put it into yourself. Then you'll rise and then you'll meet a man who's on your level. Number next is you do not care about educating yourself. If you're someone who only spends all of your time only watching TikTok, or you think dating is a hobby, you think watching Netflix is a hobby, you think, just going shopping is a hobby. I do think going shopping can be a hobby. But generally hanging out being a hobby. If whenever you're having a conversation with people and you're trying to talk about a specific topic, the way you reference things is saying, I watched a TikTok, I saw a YouTube video where someone said that, you're literally gatekeeping yourself from so many good people, because education and educating yourself is literally the way for you to get into better rooms, better situations, making sure that you meet men who actually will accommodate you and take care of you and make sure that you're happy. Believe it or not, men don't only want a woman that is beautiful, they also want a woman that they can talk to. Healthy men. Healthy, intelligent, successful, good men want a woman that they can go back and forth with. Not a woman that they argue with, but a woman they can go back and forth with. Which means that if you're someone who wants an educated man, a man who's a good man, who takes care of things and who's financially literate and all of that, you need to be that too. That's exactly why, as I said before, you need to be self-obsessed, which also means that you need to learn about economics. You need to read classics. If you have it available to you, make sure you take some courses and some classes. That's always a great way to make you more educated. The richest men that have stay-at-home wives, those wives are usually college educated. They're not staying at home because they don't have any other skills. They're staying at home because they're such a good partner to that man that man understands that energy should be spent in a different way. That energy shouldn't be spent working for someone else. That energy is better spent on her being taken care of, so that maybe he can grow his business so that he can pour money into her, so she can be good forever. He can't do that unless she's protected and good. Education is key. And I'm not just talking about you going to college. You can educate yourself in so many other ways. Pick up a book. Be a nerd about something. Nerd out. Number 4, which is probably the most important, is you're someone who likes to argue. What probably keeps you from attracting healthy men the most is you being someone who wants to argue. If you always want to argue, or if you're someone who's trying to always argue with men, especially if you believe that the approach to getting a good man is being on some, men don't treat women nice, blah, 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 blah. If you're always talking about how men are terrible and you're always wanting to argue about that, a healthy man will never touch you with a 10-foot pole, because a healthy man wants peace. He does not want someone who argues. This does not mean you can't bring up things that are on your mind and that you think are concerned. But if you're someone who walks into the living room and you're like this and this and that, and you're doing this and this and that wrong, or as soon as you meet someone, you're trying to create an argument, or you're trying to create a stir, or you're arguing with other people, you're calling other people the B word in public, you're just arguing with people, a man is going to be repelled. He's going to be like, I don't want to deal with that. Because he can tell that you're easily triggered, but at the same time, he can also tell that you will never be his peace. A man will always try to solve things if you bring them to him in a respectful and in a soft manner. Or if you nudge him, aka go read a book about nudging. Haha, education. If you nudge him towards helping you with things, use positive reinforcement, and you're not in his face all the time saying, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did that bad, men are terrible, I hate men, men. Toxic men want you to argue because they don't care if they get your energy, whether it's positive or negative. Healthy men don't want to argue. Healthy men don't want to argue because it doesn't take them anywhere. It doesn't make you or them more successful. It doesn't make you or them more happy. That does not mean that they cannot enter into a conversation. But they're not here to argue. They're not here to see you be awesome. No. That is the least attractive thing. And this is exactly why the toxic men love women that argue, because women that argue are easily energy ciphered. Unhealthy men will always try to bring up triggering conversations, and they will always be on some like, oh, you're a feminist, or they'll be like, I'm a feminist, to make you talk about feminism or whatever. Like, they will always try to make you argue or use your energy to talk passionately about things, because that's going to make you develop a trauma bond with them. But a healthy man, on the other hand, he might, enter into conversations about hard or triggering subjects, but how you handle it will tell him a lot about whether you're someone who is an arguer or not. And this is not him testing you. That's just like, you could walk by a poster that says something and then it's like a casual conversation. If the conversation remains casual and it's like, oh, whatever, oh, that's interesting, or you can stay rational, you can stay grounded, then he can see that you're not someone who's going to argue about every little thing. You're going to like handle yourself, and you're going to present yourself gracefully, even if it's things that might be hard to talk about. But toxic men will literally push hard conversations upon you to make you argue so that you create a trauma bond. Healthy men will never do that. Healthy men will keep those conversations to a minimum. They will bring up things that you need to have conversations about, and if you handle those conversations that you do need to have with grace, great. But if you handle them like on some blah blah, they're gonna be like, okay. And if a person makes you feel like you need to argue all the time, is that person really a person for you? Is that person really healthy? That's another question you gotta ask yourself. But these were 4 things that literally will make you block healthy men in your life. And I want to add a little note to the whole arguing part. If you're someone who argues a lot, then you're also someone who's more likely to bring energy towards negative things, which is essentially not what a healthy and a good man wants. He wants you to bring energy towards positive things. He wants to make sure that you have enough energy for yourself, for the partnership, and the things that you need to put your energy towards. He's not interested in you putting your energy in arguing. So if you're someone who likes to argue a lot, then he will see you as someone who's willing to waste your energy. And that's exactly what's going to make him be like, oh, you know what? I don't think so. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, and let me know in the comment section if you want me to do any types of other videos.